Lord, me can't take it no more. All this waiting make me want to drop on the floor.
The Jam Fam family. We're Irie, living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, Jam Fam, come hang with me. Jam Fam, come hang with me.
I seemed strange to a few people on the shopping center. It's early now, it's about 8:15, and I've been here since about 7:40 or 7:45, and the bank doesn't open until 8:45. So I thought, instead of standing around, I'm going to catch up on my step count. And so people are looking at me thinking, this person must be strange doing this. Two men down the end literally asked me if I do this every morning, and I had to explain that instead of waiting for an hour, I'm just catching up. Standing and waiting for an hour, I'm just catching up on my step count. So it's all good, you know. I'm just walking slowly, but at least I get the steps in as well. So it's really not much things going on in the shopping center this early in the morning, but I'm getting my steps in. And it's going quite well. I've got so much for today that I need to get done, and I'm just hoping that when I go to the different organizations, there's not going to be a long queue, because this is just a commonality of long queues and long waiting and transactional processes, which I'm just hoping won't be a thing for today, because I need to get everything done, because these are all things that have spilled over from Friday because they weren't get done completely, or because of one hiccup or another in the transaction chain. So let's hope that today we can get it all done. I'm going back to my step count. Hello. Wagwan, big up yourself. Whether you're there yard or you're there abroad. Welcome back to another one of our Jam Fam episodes. I wanted to talk today about the waiting. I tell you, waiting for things to get done. For me as an individual, it's infuriating when you have to go somewhere and sit and wait for extended periods of time. I've been in the bank, I've had to wait for 3 hours for just to get a card activated, for example. You go to different establishments and they move you from one waiting area to another waiting area, or they move you along the chairs like you're just doing chair gymnastics, and it makes it seem as though the process is going any faster, but it really isn't. And for those people who are astute enough to realize that it is not going any faster, it just gets you even more aggravated, because you can see that they're not moving you along any quicker than if you had just sat there and waited. What's even worse is when you notice that the people there, they're moving so slowly, and they stop and they have their own designated breaks where they're just standing chatting to each other. So for example, I went into an organization a couple of days ago, And one of the staff that was there, who is supposed to be on the front end attending to people who are sitting waiting, she went and she spoke to one colleague. That colleague spoke to her and went away. She then walked over and spoke to another colleague. That colleague was at his desk. He spoke to her and then carried on with his task. She then went and found somebody else a couple of tables down from her, and she spoke to that person as well at that counter. Once she was finished with that, and we thought, oh, she's finally going to call the next person now, she came back to her desk, took her phone out, and was on her phone. That's the other thing. People are sitting, waiting, and people stop, answer their phones, their personal phones, before they attend to you. And I find it strange that these things happen when you're standing there waiting for your turn to be served so you can go on and do the other things that you have to get done in your day. I went into the bank the other day, and because I knew that when I went there before I had to wait so many times for such extended periods of time, I decided that I was going to take my ticket. I had some other stuff that I needed to get done. And so I took my ticket and I went off all the way to the other side of the city. And I walked all the way to the other side of the city, went and got all the things that I needed to do. Well, I had 3 offices that I needed to go to. I went to 2 of those offices, go in, sort out what I needed to go and sort out, came back, was going to stop at the 3rd one, and I thought, you know what, this is probably me pushing it now. And because the queue there was a little bit long, I decided I'm going to leave and then come back to that another day. When I got back to the bank, I was still a way off from my ticket. And I was still having to sit and wait. Can you imagine if I had just sat there and waited and didn't go to get what I needed? So these are some of the things that I'm having to, reprocess in my mind. And it's not about me being patient, and it's not about people being patient. I hear people who've moved here say, oh, you will learn patience. It's not about patience, because sitting down and somebody wasting your time and not valuing it and just moving around like they have no care in the world is not you exercising patience waiting on them. It becomes complacency. We have just decided that their complacency, we're just going to accept it. And we've just now start to operate with mediocrity, because there is no reason something that should take 5 to 10 minutes is taking 1 hour to 2 hours to get done. And there is no reason for people to make it seem like you're moving and have all these different levels of the same checks in place before you get your stuff done. I was talking to somebody at the passport office, for example, and we were laughing about the situation, because it was so bad that if we didn't laugh, I'm not sure what else we would do. Because we went through so many different sections just to get to the point now where we're going to get the passport application accepted. We did that, waiting again, we got that done. Once we got that done, we thought this is the end of the process now. We're just going to be able to go and then come back and collect our passport when it's the time to collect the passport. But when we finished that, what we then realized was, now that they've accepted it, they've given us an invoice, and we now have to go to another section, join another queue in the same section of the building. This queue now went back out the door, all the way down a walkway, a corridor, and we now have to go and join another queue just to make the payment. And we were both there looking at the scenario at this last stage of our process, how simple it would have been if, when the person who accepted our application and everything, who gave us the invoice, had a payment system there that we could have just paid and save us all of that hassle. The number of checks we had to do for somebody to check our application documents, then check to say what we need, then send us another length to check. I mean, the checks are necessary, but we shouldn't have to go through that many, because they're just checking the same thing. All they do is look at it, write a little line under it to say that they've checked it, sign it, and send you to the next place. That you go there, they check again. And that's just one other example. It's just the fact that you have to go through so many. I'm just so sick and tired of waiting. You go to get some cash out of the bank, you're waiting. You're just standing in a queue waiting. And we have got to get to a place where we can be more efficient. And for me, that's just the thing now. The lack of efficiency. Because I know we can do it. And there are people who are complaining about it. It's just that they feel as though their complaints are not being heard because nothing is being done to improve it from the standpoint where we are looking on. And I know that we can do better. When you go into places like Montego Bay and Ocho Rios and the tourist hub, you see that they can do better. When you go to Montego Bay Airport in comparison to going to Kingston Airport, you get out of that airport so quickly on arrival. And there are lots of people coming through. So I'm not sure why we can't have the same efficiency in places where we're not serving tourists. We're also customers and we are valuable clients, which means that we should be treated with that level of value when we go into any place. You know, you go into stores and you're trying to have a conversation with somebody because you need help. And when I see somebody who comes and gives me support or help, I thank them. I'm so grateful. And there are so many people who, when I go into a organization and I get good customer service, I now go to the point where I literally contact whoever I need to contact to give feedback, because they're so far and few between that I just have to make the effort to say that this person went above and beyond the norm or the average performance of their colleagues today. And I saw them and I appreciate it. So the waiting just have to stop. And I'm just going to let you have a look at some of the scenarios and experiences that will convey this sentiment a little bit more to you. An idea of the queues people have to join and the amount of waiting that goes into getting anything done. See this one up here? It goes all the way back. All the way back. That's a queue waiting to go into one bank. And I can be sure that the next bank down there have a queue as well. The queue here is a lot shorter than it was up there. And the one over there is also a bit shorter. And this is the waiting. And we can get an idea of why some people probably choose to be unbanked. Because if they have to go through all this extensive wait to access their money, what is the point? And this one is out of service. So you have to go inside the bank, which is a queue. It's a common thing. See, two people who are coming to use it, they've gone because they can't be asked to queue. And some other people had come and they went as well. And I hear people talking about this all the time, so it's not just immune to this bank. It's just a commonplace thing I've noticed so far. This is something that we have got to change. Another example of queuing for the cash point. And this queue right now is mild. This morning I decided that I'm going to come out to gather some information doing my research. And so I'm here at the municipality building gathering some information about things to do with properties and the house that we are currently occupying, and just wanting to understand how things go here in the country, and just trying to get ourselves up to date with the things that we need to do. So hopefully all of this information gathering will work out to be something that adds value. It seems a little bit complicated and a lot of hoop jumping and various rungs and the ladder to get to where you want to get to, but I guess that's how it is wherever you go in the world. So we'll just make sense of the information and just follow the rabbit hole to get to what we need to accomplish in the end. And the law is out and about on patrol doing their job, and we thank them for the job that they do. Their service to us as a people. Eliona wanted to try cup noodle, and so we decided to buy some. She's made me one, which I've been eating. So it has some mixed vegetable in there, and she put some frankfurters in, and so far so good. And this flavor is chicken. Yeah, so it's just the chicken flavor that we bought to have a taste of it, to see what it's like. And she made herself one. Same makeup. How do you like it?
It tastes like the ramen you'd get at restaurants, but again, I still prefer the Nigerian and the noodles. When you boil it, I just feel like it has more flavor.
Okay. Is that Nigerian Indomie?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think it have more flavor?
Maybe because it's an African one.
You think so?
Because I don't think this noodle company originated in Jamaica.
I don't know.
It was probably...
We can see where it was made.
I'm not sure where it was from.
But so you think the other one has a lot more season and spice?
Yeah.
Is that what makes it better for you?
So it's probably best for someone who isn't a very spiced person, or someone that just wants something plain but quick to make.
Okay.
So if I were to make this again, I'd probably put my own seasoning in it. And then before I put the hot water on it.
Okay. That's fine then. But on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the score of it?
7.
Okay. So would you buy it again?
Yeah. I'll just put some improvements into it to make it up to what I would want it to taste like.
Okay then. That's fine. Well, thank you for staying with us. We hope that you like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
The Jam Fam family. We're Irie, living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, Jam Fam, come hang with we. Jam Fam, come hang with we.